Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today, Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Well, welcome back to Texas. I mean, you were in Texas on our last episode, but now it's daytime Texas, so everyone can really see. How's it feel to be back in Texas home?
Good, really good.
Yeah.
It actually does. Yeah, it feels really nice. So it's drowningly hot outside. Like when it's hot
Perfect.
in Austin, it feels like it's drowning you, and it feels like your lungs are getting smushed every time you go outside. And I was like, oh my god, I've missed this feeling of suffocation. Oh, it's so nice. And just there's already been two people here to fix a water heater, and they're just funny and talking about the election. I mean, it's like terrifying and fun, and it's great. I love it. Glad to be back.
Nothing makes us feel great going into July 4th weekend like thinking about the American election this November. I mean,
Well, it's America. Okay, welcome to America Day. Let's talk about how we can fix it, y'all. It
America's
is.
having a season 4 Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season at the moment. Okay.
Well, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was really intense too. A lot of stuff happening.
But it was like literally the best season. So I think America kind of is like a housewife show where we really do need to learn to look at this as one of the best times because it can get a lot worse. Okay. So we're at like one of the ending Nene leak seasons when we were like, what's happening to this show? And then we were like, Nene should probably take a break because this is just getting too depressing. And then Nene did take a break, and then it went completely downhill.
Let's be honest.
So let's be honest. We're in a Nene season. Let's appreciate this Nene season, okay? Could be the last one we have for a while.
Some may just say it's a season 13 Roni. we're getting ready for a reboot.
We need to. We need to fucking reboot. Okay. We've got the same old fucking jokers in there as forever. I can't believe we're having the same. We shouldn't even talk about this. We're having the same election with the same people for how many years? I mean, let's just let it go, guys. Please. Okay. So anyway, here we are. With season 2 of Dubai, and Bueller's here somewhere, which is the other good news, is to have my little baby back.
That is good news. Well, let's dive into Dubai, okay? So the episode opens up. We're at Caroline Stanbury's new house. Everything is still in boxes. There's chaos everywhere. She's holding her dog. She's dictating a text, and she's saying, "Hi, girls. Just wanted to invite you all to the desert on Saturday. Wear things you can do activities in, so no ball gowns, Ayan. Sergio, that shouldn't be a problem for you. I'm sorry, for Sergio, that's an issue of no balls, as opposed to no ball gowns. Anyway, can't wait to see you all. See you there in the sand."
So there are people working everywhere, and someone drops something, or there's like a loud noise, and Caroline's like, "What's wrong with the fountain, Sergio?" He's like,
honey, so there's a leak in the fountain. Okay, it will be fixed, I think, in the next 2 days, but right now there's a leak.
and she's like, "Well, better a leak than a baby, I suppose."
Oh, your parents are coming, aren't they? Well, they can just sit under that leak and let it drip on their heads. You know how much I adore them.
Can't wait to ignore your parents for the weekend. Honestly, I look forward to ignoring your parents almost as much as I do as ignoring your request for a baby.
So we're in the new house. Michael's probably doing naked cartwheels right now, and my entire life is in chaos. I'm still sleeping on the floor because I would rather have my back interface with hard tiling than to have a single fingernail of Sergio's touch my body.
We see them, Sergio's taking a selfie of them, and there's like workers walking behind them as they sleep on the floor in the living room. There's like a washing machine next to them.
It's chaotic.
So Caroline's like, "Oh, and now Sergio's family's arriving in 2 days. I don't really know where they're going to sleep, frankly. Well, I mean, they should sleep with Sergio. You made that bed. Lie with him."
Unfortunately, our sad people from a foreign country room is not available, so we don't really have a dedicated room for them quite yet.
"I'm sorry. I'm already sleeping with the laundry room. There's no more room for wash-ups. Do you understand? Please leave."
Sergio's like, "Oh, no, they have to keep on snagging the stuff. Like, look up there. They've got to fix that. Look up there. There's an open wire up there, and there's like a socket with a wire dangling." And Caroline's like, "I would rather stick my finger in that open socket than to think about conceiving a child with you, Sergio."
So there's a knock at the door, and it's like a knock with feathers. So he's like,
Oh my God, is that Ayan?
she's like, it is.
Oh, please, honey, please. I'm the man of the house. Please listen to me, honey. Please. Please tell her no heels in the house. Please, please, honey. Please, man of the house. Man of the house.
And she's like, all right, Ayan, why are you wearing heels? I've texted you. She's like, what did you text me 10 minutes ago? I'm not taking them off.
No. She's in like I don't like she's in like these tall heels. She's got this sparkling kind of like mini, is it a mini dress? I don't know what you call it. But like she is not dressed like she's about to tour a construction site, that's for sure.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, there you go.
That's how I am.
It's
Anyway.
Zion, you know? So he's like,
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to take your shoes off. You are a gay icon. So please, walk very slowly through the house.
she's like, would you like to look around? Not at Sergio, please. Don't. Please. He'll just start crying and begging for a baby.
How ironic is it that the first of my friends to come see and congratulate me on the new house is Ayan? Could you even believe it? And how ironic is it also that I've married a giant gaping vagina of a man? I guess that's not really ironic. It's more hilarious. So Chanel starts walking around. She's walking around the house, looking at things. She's being very nice. She's complimenting things and everything. And Caroline's saying how, last year, I think Ayan thinks I was brought up in a barn and never owned a home. So here it is. I do have a home, although I do have something of a pet that I'm actually married to, unfortunately.
I mean, it's still covered in animal feces and, a baby who's lying around in a veritable manger. But still.
Do I live in a barn? No. Am I married to a small donkey? Yes.
So they go to the backyard and the guys are working and she's just, showing off the house. She's like, this right here is going to be a waterfall. This will just be flowing so I can hear water. Put a fountain out there. You know what waters do? They give you the sound of water. Yes, wow. And how gorgeous is this tree? Look at it. It just lights up the whole house. A bonsai tree in the desert. Water everywhere. Why don't you just fucking strangle the earth? Just... Do you have any of those little, like, plastic Coke rings that you could just hang a bunch of strangled dolphins as a chandelier in your dining room? I mean, what the fuck, lady?
Well, the plan is this. If Sergio ever annoys me, I'll just climb to the top of the tree and hope for some peace and quiet up there.
Listen, I asked for a 70-year-old bonsai tree years ago, and I ended up getting a 34-year-old bozo. So, it just goes to show you, be more specific when you visualize things,
We got, my favorite feature of our new house is an 80-year-old bonsai tree. We got a giant crane to lift it all the way over the top of the house. And unfortunately, that crane could then not lift Sergio out of the house and remove him completely. But, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
That tree has 2 men that come in twice a week. Today, one had a wash and vitamins. They feed it vitamins. And she smiles proudly. I was like, Caroline is more proudly raising this tree than her children. She's like, children are disgusting, but trees get washed and vitamins.
I know. That tree's going to be like, I had nannies growing up and I was sent to tree boarding school and I'm angry about it.
Well, your boarding school is way less formal than my boarding school. Fucking kids today. Caroline's smile is so funny to me with her big old lips. She's just gotten her lips and she's got new teeth. And when she smiles, she's just like, vitamins.
Vitamins, am I right?
So now they're going through more of the tour, and Caroline's, this floor is where the children are. I've been sure to put no lights up here so we can't see them. It's on purpose. No one worry.
You can only get up here if you know the passcode, and only the passcode keeper of the nannies.
And here's where Sergio and I live. And Sergio's like,
Oh my God, look at the curtains. Oh my God, so our bedroom will be here, right?
and she's like, with a bathtub? Your bedroom is going to have a bathtub? And he's like,
Yes, and we put the mirror here.
she goes, oh, to watch yourselves have sex? Send me videos. Send me videos of you having sex. Well, it's just mostly, have you ever seen videos of a man at Taco Bell in his car just sobbing? Well, imagine that, but instead of tacos, it's my vagina. And Sergio is the man.
I sometimes just gaze out at that bonsai tree as it receives its vitamins, and I think back at the folly of when I initially ordered it. I said, I want I want a vital man. And they said, do you want vitamins? And I said, sure, I guess vitamins work too. Tree
Well,
went
it's
out.
not quite finished yet, but this is my closet. I mean, it's everywhere. And so we see the glamour, the, inevitable glamorous housewives closet shot. And Ayan's like, what size are you? So she could see all her clothes. But they're different sizes. Caroline's a 38 and she's a 40. I love hearing thin people talk like that because, girl sizes are very different from guy sizes. But I am really struggling to not be a 38 and 40. So I feel like totally thin watching this. I'm like, yes, such a good song. I'm so proud of my size.
Proud of them. So then they go into like the home theater, and there's like a star ceiling, like with twinkle lights. And Caroline's like, "Look at this, okay? When you lie here, there you go, Ayan. It's like you're back in Africa, the only place where there are stars."
What's that fake star ceiling? I love that you were raised in a Rolls Royce in Africa. It is.
Now you also had a giant bonsai tree outside your bedroom growing up in Africa, did you not? Feels just like home.
So the producer's like, so do you think Stanbury's house is beautiful? And she goes, well, I don't see anything that was... You know what? Why be a bitch? Yes, it is nice. Good for her.
What do you think she was going to say? I was going to say maybe warm, personal, indicated that there had ever been any sort of family. There was any sort of family attached to this house.
Yeah, I think it's a big, someone said, I've seen her house. It's a big, giant concrete box, which, doesn't sound bad to me. I think maybe because I'm American.
Take, I like
that's how we roll, right?
Yeah.
I think so much can be fixed with flooring. You know what I mean? And I love their flooring, that black and white square thing that they do. It's like a striped square or whatever it is. I think that's so cool. It's like so gaudy, and I'll never be able to. Well, you should say never, right? I can't imagine ever being able to afford something like that. So it's pretty. It's like a mall. It's a mall house, a Heather Dubrow mall house, where you're like, oh, the fanciest Sbarro I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like going to the South Coast Plaza in Costa Mesa. Also, near where Heather Dubrow lives.
Or the Sunland Park Mall in El Paso, except you need the big, like standing horses. They're statues of, and they're white. They're like painted to look like marble, but they're just like hollow, cardboardy type horses that are just like leaping. And their gorgeous horse manes are flowing in the air.
We don't unfortunately have horses for my home, but we do have assistants. So Valentina, get on the pedestal and do a horse pose. Okay, hold it for 6 hours. All right, thank you very much.
Valentina, I don't want to hear about your arthritis today. All right.
Paulette, you're the other horse. Okay, different pose from Valentina. Valentina, ignore Paulette. She doesn't know what she's doing. Paulette, you're my favorite. Valentina, I always lie to Paulette. Okay, and go.
It's so amusing about Valentina's arthritis stories is that something's always hurting, but she's always able to flap her gums. Is there arthritis customer service that I can call and request that the arthritis moves to the jaw area?
All right, Paulette, your horse pose is actually a little too evocative. Sergio is crying. I'm going to need you to be a little more scary. Thank you.
My hands are cold. Set Amber on fire. Remember, we were just always starting Amber on fire in Ladies of London. So those are all Stanbury's assistants from Ladies of London. I heard through a comment, which is where I get all my information. Thanks. That Caroline was saying on the after show or something that one of her assistants is from the gift gallery from Ladies of London. So I love that. Yes, we saw 2 people working for her last week, and one of them was one of the OGs.
Wow, but it wasn't Valentina though. Bad news, ma'am. I couldn't get my visa for Dubai.
So. I don't know what Valentina's doing right now, but I hope it's not using her voice, because she definitely needs to be on vocal rest, that kid. Bad news, Mom. We've lost another gift. Another gift was on its way to a rich person. We've lost it.
Bad news, Mum. Just got fired at the British Museum. Now I'm leading tours on sidewalks, hoping that people will pay me and I can show them the sights. Got any help for your old Valentina, Mum?
So they go down to eat some food, and Ayan's asking them about a baby because they've just seen the baby room. And Caroline's like, this is a potential baby room. And Ayan's like, well, why are you putting your baby in this room and then you're going to be upstairs? And she's like every other baby I've had. I mean, of course. You have a nurse. Don't be disgusting. No one wants to be on the same floor as a child.
Absolutely, it's awful. I mean, you're looking at the person who pioneered the act of getting a restraining order against your own baby. Okay, we need to be on separate floors at all times.
The only time that baby was closer than 20 yards to me was when it came out of me.
And Sergio's like, no, wait a second. No, baby has to be with us, honey. I love how Sergio just doesn't seem to ever understand. Like things have been like way in motion, and he like always finds out like after the fact. And she's Caroline's like, okay, you're right. You know, the baby has to be with the. You know what's so funny is that the baby is actually already with us, and I'm looking at it right now, Sergio.
The baby's getting its first traces of back hair. You know what? You're such a child. You need to be 20 yards away. Go. Further. Valentina, please come in here and lift this child away from me. Thank you.
Valentina, please put the home arrest cuff onto his foot, please. Thank you.
So Chanel's like, listen. Oh, she tells us, Sergio really wants a baby in his soul. I can feel it. What do you mean you can feel it? He's literally crying in every episode going,
Please, baby, give me a baby, baby. Honey. You going to give me a baby, honey? Come on, honey.
You know what, Sergio? Tough titties. If you wanted a baby so much, you should not have married someone who has said they don't want to have any more children, because she's already had 2 or 3. Like, I think this is, you know what, Sergio? What you're gonna get is a Cabbage Patch doll, and you're gonna have to deal with that, okay?
Yeah. And, be happy with it, And the only reason Caroline will let you have that is so that she has a goal face to show the doctor.
So now they sit down and they take out like a million takeout containers. And Caroline's like, this is breakfast, lunch, and dinner all at once. And
it came in paper bags, but I requested styrofoam instead.
It's we're going to bury it under the bonsai's roots afterwards. Quote unquote vitamins.
Nothing is going to make me happier than watching a vitamined up bonsai tree slowly die.
It's very important for me when I get takeaway that I order about 35 different containers, because it distracts Sergio for a good 45 minutes.
We're naming this bonsai tree Sergio's Chances at Fatherhood. And I'm going to bury a styrofoam container under it every single night.
It's like the what's her Gypsy Rose Blanchard, except with the bonsai tree.
Oh God,
Gypsy Rose bonsai. Okay, so Ayan is so Caroline's talking about like, well, my stress levels are through the roof. Do you know how stressful it is to be very wealthy and watching other people doing things for you all the time? And
it's hard.
Very, very difficult. And
poor people sweat. It's actually contagious. The poor people start sweating and then Sergio starts sweating. It's really disgusting. I just wish I could just be disgusted with one fewer person in my home. Does everyone understand? Of course you don't. They're all poor.
You know about Sergio? He actually sweats through his eyeballs. It's like, I think those are his tears. Tears, I'm not familiar with the concept.
Those are the things that all of your employees from the gift workshop, the gift gallery had when you told them they were gone. Oh, tears. Yes. I use that as, what do you call it when you fire someone for good reason? I was going to call it probable cause. Every day.
I use
Tuesday.
that for every day.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
All right, never mind. That one got away from me. Let's
The good
just get on.
reason is that it's hilarious.
Listen, Ayan, you've come all this way and refused to take off your shoes. Would you like to start shit between me and my actual children? She's like, sure. The other day Yasmin was talking to me about how she doesn't want you to have a baby. And then we see a clip of Yasmin being like,
Absolutely, mother should not have a baby. Because she had us, she never saw us. At least I was there to raise my brothers. What will this baby have?
well, first of all, Sergio. And yeah, get the fuck out of here. I don't like this. So then she's like, oh, please. Yasmin was not all alone growing up, all right? I mean, she's not totally raised by nannies. Listen, I'm a working woman. I had 87 employees at the time. I'm home on the weekends. She's not living in a hovel. She's fine. The worst thing she ever had was a little rain coming out of her eyes.
I mean, Yasmin has no clue what it used to be like. Look, here's a girl who was 75% raised by nannies. I was 100% raised by nannies, and not only that, they were in brown uniforms with brown gloves. It was so formal and disgusting. It was like the Sergio of nannies. And then, with my kids, I wasn't around that much, and I ran a big business, and Yasmin wants to be a lawyer, so what am I going to do? Tell you, oh, have kids and you're never going to live your dreams? Absolutely not.
No, children, I always tell her, listen, Yasmin, no offense, children are dream killers, all right? Would you like to kill another child's dream? All right, let's stop the cycle.
I have a question, Yasmin. Have you ever caught a child in a dream catcher? Absolutely not, of course. Because dream catchers only catch dreams, not children. Two different concepts.
Aren't dream catchers lovely? This is a lighter. It's called a dream killer. Right? It's much more productive.
Oh, look at Sergio. I call him a pathetic catcher.
He's a dream spinner. Isn't it adorable? Hold on.
Ow, honey. Ow, why are you starting that lighter on me?
It's so fun. I'm telling you, endlessly fun.
Sergio, take off those brown gloves and brown uniform. It's too much. It's triggering for me.
Honey, please, listen to me. You're not going to cosplay as my nannies and get me to listen. I'll tell you that much right now. Take it off. I love that you can't tell whether she's more disgusted that she was raised only by nannies or that they were wearing brown. She's just like, you cannot believe. Yasmin just doesn't understand. I was raised by people wearing brown.
Wearing a drab uniform. At least have some florals or some prints. Boring, just like Sergio.
Have we never heard of a dress shirt dress?
Sergio's like,
Sadly, as much as I love her, she cannot control her mom's happiness. The baby will come at the right time, And I actually want to dedicate time to the baby. I want to be a father, and I believe the baby that we will have, it will be a fun baby.
That's not what he said. I couldn't understand what he
he
said.
said fun baby.
It will
and
be
then-
a fun
and
baby.
Chanel goes, farm? Like from the farm? A baby from the farm? So she goes, F-U-N. Both of you are too idiotic to be in my presence right now. I'm going to retire to the bedroom where I'm sure there'll be a chipped TV stand waiting for me. Thank you.
I'm not going to a farm. I'm not moving from this house, which, as we've already gone over, is already kind of a farm. Look at this, full circle. So then we go to Talene and her nanny, Jamie, and they're at a park. And I love that Talene's barely even kidding. She's barely even trying to pretend that she parents. She's like, honey, yeah, isn't it great for us to be at the park? Just go with Jamie. Just go. You want an ice cream? Get it from Jamie. Seriously, go. Please walk. Please keep walking. Oh, my God, Raffi, it's so hard being a mother.
These
Jeez.
poor ducks. Because Talene's like, Sienna, give the duck a cucumber. I'm like, really? These ducks are like, oh shit, here come some humans. Is everyone ready for some bread? Or something really delicious that we can't find in the pond? Like, yes, queen, here come the humans. I'm in line first. And it's like, here's a cucumber. It's like, huh. Sort of hoping for something a little bit better. We're in Dubai.
But
Thought
it's
there'd be
such like
something
a
more
personal
luxe.
trainer thing to do. Of course, the lady in CrossFit's like,
Let's go feed healthy things to the ducks.
I know the duck doesn't want a cucumber. I guarantee that duck was not happy with a cucumber.
nobody's happy with a cucumber. She's giving the duck a fucking protein bar.
She's like, hey, duck, I just got my body back, and you too, you can too, okay? Don't feel like you can't get your body back just because you're a woman in Dubai. Got it? All right, meet me. I'm going to tie a little parachute around this duck. Up, there it goes. Okay. You're taking this a little too far, duck. Come back. All right, sorry,
Duck's
guys.
afraid to work out with men.
Mommy, my brother's being... Mommy, are you okay?
Oh, God, that duck's choking on the cucumber. All right, I'm really fucking up with the ducks here. Ralph, let's go. Jamie, deal with this. Clean this up, Jamie.
By the way, I did this. Of course, this is me. I looked up what do ducks like to eat, and then Google's AI generated response, because you have to say if something's AI these days, otherwise people get mad. So everyone, I did not do all this research. The AI bot did it. Ducks like oats. They love cracked corn. They love rice. They love broccoli. They like fruits. Almost all fruits are acceptable, but ducks especially like watermelon, strawberries, and blueberries. Apples, pears, cherries, and plums, peaches, and apricots are also safe to feed, but you have to remove the pits. Vegetables, peas, they love a pea. No mention of cucumber, I've got to say. Oh, also protein. They love scrambled eggs and mealworms. So I feel like it's a little fucked up for a duck to eat scrambled eggs, but you know what?
Listen, as long as they're warm, Well, it's not below deck, this poor duck.
I know. Don't let this duck be a primary guest on Below Deck Med with Jono cooking.
I'm surprised that ducks have such a wide palate. I never knew.
Well, to be fair, I think most animals will literally eat anything. But I feel like ducks seem to be really into brunch. It's like, hi, can I get some scrambled eggs with some watermelon on the side? Thank you so much. And I'll do some oats. They love it.
Duck chef. I'm sorry. Gail Duck didn't like that very much. Okay, so back to this. So Talene and Raff are talking, and Raffi's like, "Look at all the ducks. Why are they following you, Cheech? What's happening? Hey, the ducks are following Gigi. That's crazy. You know what they wouldn't follow? A boy. We need a son. I gotta have a son immediately. Please give me a son. I mean, what am I gonna live my business to a fucking duck guru? Like, what am I going to have some ducks following around the CEO of my father's company? We built the city, honey. We built the city. I need a penis coming out of you."
Oh my God. Raffi, he thinks he's in Game of Thrones. He thinks he needs an heir or something like that. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know what? He thinks we need someone to take over the company. And she says, "You know what? These girls are a lot, and you're not as hands-on as sometimes I wish you would be, Raff." And he's like, "How can I be? I'm a man. I got a job. Listen, I work like 6 hours a day, and then after that, like, how do I have time to help a kid out?"
Yeah, he's like, nepotism's a full-time job, babe. Going around to all the spots that my dad built and saying, "My dad built this." Babe, come on.
I'm hearing it from Raffi. I'm hearing it from his family. I get it. We're Middle Eastern, so family members chime in all the time because I basically have a mother-in-law being in bed with a whistle and a clipboard telling me which position I need to get in to have a boy, which I thought that was hilarious, actually. A whistle and a clipboard.
Here's how you have a baby. Here's how you have a boy. Is it you stand to have the baby? What are those old wives' tales? Like you stand to have a boy and then you lay down in missionary to have a girl. I don't know. There's all these rules. I guess
study
you're
whatever
to
Teresa Giudice did and do the opposite.
But I mean, you could say that literally for everything. I mean, I can get an IKEA bookshelf and read the instructions, and it would just say, "Do whatever Teresa Giudice would not do."
Right? Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. So Talene's like, I had a very tough time with pregnancy, and I just feel like I just got my body back. I've done so much running with parachutes. It's really awkward. He's like, "Yeah, I know, babe. You keep on knocking over things off the table with that parachute." He's like, "Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't do it in the house anymore."
This whole discussion of
I have to have a boy. Girls can't do it.
it's like, fuck off, just fuck off. It's just so annoying to still hear this conversation in 2024. Gross. Be better. Do better.
Yeah,
I hope your children are really fucking smart and realize that all they have to do to take your company is make everyone think you're crazy. Then you can sign over the company and they can take it over and have you committed somewhere with your stupid male ass. Get rid of your stupid ass and then be the biggest real estate company in Dubai run by women. I hope they get their fucking revenge. I'm telling you, I'm only watching you on this show to watch Gigi smarten up and get rid of your stupid ass Raffi, you fucking misogynist piece of crap.
I'm ready for her to walk into the board meeting and say, "I am taking over the country, and if you do not follow me, you're all fired," or whatever it is that Joan, what's her face?
Don't fuck with me, fellows. This ain't my first time at the Dubai Ferris wheel.
So, and then Raffi's like, Talene's like saying how she had a tough pregnancy and she just got her body back. And Raffi's like, "Yeah, but Gigi's kind of self-sufficient at this point." She's like,
"Hey, you should try and follow her
she
lead,
can take a piss by herself." I like the girl. And then Gigi comes over. It's like, "Can I give the ducks lettuce?" And they're like, "Sure." And then they're like, go talk to your nanny. It's like, yeah, she's real self-sufficient, as in there's a nanny taking care of her now.
She knows how to ask the nanny about lettuce. She's basically an adult. Give her a driver's license.
Yeah. So anyway, Lisa at the Queen's dinner kind of like went into attack mode with me a bit. I'm like, I do want to give Lisa the benefit of the doubt, so I let things go, and I'm like ready to move on. But with Brooks, I get like 2 a.m. calls being like, "She said this, she said that, I hate that. There's a toilet that's falling into the ground in my place," all that bullshit.
So after the Queen's dinner, the morning after, I get a phone call from Caroline Brooks. And Caroline tells me that she heard Caroline Stanberry say to Lisa, I don't know why Tal pulled me away from the table, because Tal and I aren't friends like that. And then she says, Tal, don't you get it? And then I'm like, oh my God, what are you talking about? She says, Tal, Stanberry doesn't like you. So I, Tal, pick up the phone and call Stanberry. I'm really going to cement Tal in your brains today. Okay, we're calling me Tal from RHODub. Does everybody got that?
Well, I'm really appreciative that she asked me to my face. I have to say, this is Caroline Stanberry talking now, okay? Because she said, did you say this? I said, no, I did not. So then I called Lisa. Well, actually, first thing I did was I hung up. I bashed Sergio over the head with my phone, and then I called Lisa. I call that Sergio bash. It's fun. Fun little game for the family.
Then Lisa's like, and out of nowhere, I'm getting calls from Stanberry basically telling me that Brooks told Talene things that I never said. And I'm not one to defend Stanberry, but that is not what I told Brooks. I specifically said Stanberry was also confused as to why Talene needed to pull her to the side. You guys are fighting over literally the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time.
I know. And there's all these
love
graphics on screen. There's like all these cartoons and like phones and everything. And Caroline's like, I mean, why is Brooks inserting herself again? Although also I could ask, why is Sergio inserting himself again? His hand is in a toaster oven right now. Should I save him? Probably not. I'm going to let him get electrocuted.
I don't want to ask Sergio why he's inserting himself, because every time I ask, he just says,
Baby, honey, baby.
So Talene's like, I mean, Raff. What was she trying to instigate things because of her issues with Stanberry? That's the struggle with Brooks. She sometimes does things to instigate. And we see flashbacks. Yeah, I'm like, you're on a reality show. I hate to break it to you, but this is.
But Brooks is just so ham-handed at it. She can't do it. Like, she's just really messy with it and really bad. Clearly is having some kind of a problem this season with something. No, I don't know what it is, and I know we're not supposed to talk about that stuff, but she's just a mess and doesn't even seem to remember what she's doing half the time. And so Raffi's like, well, listen, you need to ask her to stop it. Brooks is our girl, but tell her you don't want to hear about who said what because you don't really care. What you're concentrating is on giving birth to something with a penis.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I don't know what she's gonna say, but she's gonna be like, well, I was trying to be a good friend. And it's like, great. Well, that as my good friend, I'm requesting you to stop talking to me about that stuff. I don't want to know. That's what you should tell her. She's like, all right. Well, we all know Brooks. Is she gonna take that well? And he's like, well, choose your words.
Or a penis. It would be great if you choose a penis too. It would be great. And give it to me. Please, immediately. What am I going to do without a boy?
And then we go to Mina Rowe photo shoot with Lisa and a photographer. Listen, congratulations on your business. I think it's great. I'm bored.
Yeah. Basically, the scene, she takes photos. It's nice. Her business is doing well. Her husband, the CFO, is happy. And she sets alarms for a lot of things because she's a busy lady. And that's her personality, alarms. Yeah. So that's what happens in the scene.
I mean, listen, last year I don't think we noticed as much because last year the worst personality on this show was really into French fries. And this year it's been taken over by alarms. She's like, you know what I do? Alarms. It's my thing.
Well, at least she doesn't have a secret fruitcake business on the side that she's going to spring out.
Oh my God. I miss the secret fruitcakes. I'm not going to lie.
That was Nina's best feature. What about my fruitcakes? You didn't
I have
support
a fruitcake
me.
business.
My
How dare
business.
you don't support my business? What business? The fruitcake business. You have a fruitcake business?
You have a fruitcake business? So now we go to a coffee shop with Sara Maktoum.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's on the list of shit that we don't appreciate while we have it.
Yeah, I know, it's true. So Sara Maktoum and Akin. Akin is his name is Akin, right? Is Akin not Akin? Well, it's Akin. So he is the super, super hot guy from Germany that Sara showed us last week. And they're hanging out and, settling in and stuff. And Sara's like, it's been 2 months since I last seen Akin. And I'm so excited to see him. I'm just going to have like an instant spiritual healing moment right now. Oh, I'm healed.
Field.
You know what I have to do to really heal my feelings? Hold on. I'm going to bite my fist and yell into it. Oh my God, I'm so healed. So I really need it.
Thank God for hot people, instant healing. So Maktoum is cute, and he loves this guy. I think we all do because he's so hot. And Maktoum's like, you're like caramel seduction. And Sarah's like, yes, caramel seduction. Yes.
This is an odd scene with Maktoum. He's like, caramel seduction. What is he doing? What is this kid doing? Who's being really funny though? And Sarah's like, this time we have a much bigger intention. I'm going to decide whether I friend zone this guy or whether I take him to the next level. And so far it's been going like this. Check, check, check. Oh my God, and those abs. Sarah, how many times are you going to do this? Okay. I think it's time to stop judging people based on their abs, okay? And also stop introducing your child to men 5 minutes into it. That's weird, right?
That.
I don't think you're supposed to tell people how to raise their children, but this is I don't think you're supposed to do this.
We're not supposed to tell children. You're not supposed to tell people how to raise their children, but you are allowed to judge it. And I think that honestly, like, whoa, if you don't want to like get poor little Maktoum's hopes up, how about you like do like a test run with these guys for like 9 or 10 months, something like that, before you start introducing.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel icky kind of judging that, but can't help it. Sorry, it's my opinion. And I'm watching this and being like, yeah, don't do that to poor little Maktoum. I love him.
I don't feel icky about it because I know we're all thinking these things, okay? And if you're not thinking these things, no one is watching this at this moment, whether you agree or not with how Sarah should be doing it. No one is watching and saying, like, I have absolutely no opinion about whether or not Sara should be introducing this guy to Maktoum. Some people are like, no, it's fine. It's totally great. This is how it should be. And I'm totally open to hearing that reasoning. I'm actually really not that invested in it. My instinct says probably wait a little bit. But we're all thinking different things, which means we're all passing judgment. So I don't want to be shamed for weighing in on this situation. Not in this day and age. Not today.
Not today. Well, yeah, but I mean, even if it's like, don't judge the mommy part of it. It's not even the meeting him. You know, if you want to meet, say, hey, this is my friend, whatever. Nothing's going on. We're just friends. I just wanted to see if you'd get along or whatever. That's one thing. But I mean, this kid's already like, when are you going to be my daddy? It's like, oh no.
No. Yeah, he literally asked that.
She's like, so you guys know each other so well now. I mean, you guys have been to ice cream together, which is basically enough for me to marry somebody. You know, I've done that before. And also it bothered me after last week when she was like, oh yeah, my last husband was terrible. Like he never even acknowledged Maktoum. I'm like, wasn't that a sign? Like, did you never notice that going into it? I don't know. There's just a lot here where I worry about that kid because he just seems like such a sweetheart.
Such a sweet little boy.
Okay.
So Sara had Akin actually babysit Maktoum. And so they spent like a day together. They went to multiple gas stations to get a slushie, which I'm like, okay, that's an interesting tactic. Introducing new potential romantic partner by doing like a test run daddy session. It's like interesting. You're worried that Maktoum will get a little bit too attached, but you're also really putting Akin in that daddy role really quickly. I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like the way I would necessarily go through it.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So they're talking about how they got slushies together, and Maktoum loves him now, basically. Because I mean, really, slushies are love. It's like slushies are love, or Maktoum's love language, and that's just it. And so Sarah's like, and this comes with a risk, of course, because if it doesn't work out, my son gets attached, and then the guy is gone. Then what do I do? I'm like, yeah, well, I guess relate to that one. So then Maktoum's like, yeah, when are you going to be my dad or my stepdad?
Akin's like, I thought I was just coming in for a booty call, and this got real deep real quickly.
Yeah. And so she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Baba, he's just my friend for now. We're getting to know each other. He's not your daddy yet. Give it a week. Am I right?
Akin's like, and Maktoum's like, well, he's great. Because he has 10 packs. See, Maktoum, he's young, but he understands what's happening. He's like, okay, mom found a hot guy. He took me to get slushies. I think this is going to work out.
Last week, Mom found a homely guy who kind of believed in aliens, but now she found a hot guy who kind of believes in aliens. So Mom's in this one to win it. Sarah's coming off as kind of a shallow dick. All right, so let's go over to Caroline and Sergio walking into a fertility center.
Sergio's like, back in the game. Babies, babies, babies.
Oh, good. It's my favorite place to hang out. That was sarcasm, Sergio. I don't know if you understand that concept.
Sergio, it really is like you're back in the game. Here you are. Now your game is babies instead of football, and you're still being benched.
Sergio, so they get in. Sergio's like,
Hello, we're here to make a baby.
Caroline's like, no, we're not here to make a baby, darling. We're here to see the doctor. And if anything, we're going to see if this fertility clinic can somehow make you infertile going forward.
We're not here to make a baby. We're here to quiet a baby. Doctor, quiet the baby. Tell him what he needs to hear.
But baby, please, to follow up on our baby on ice. Our baby ice.
Yeah, we're here to follow up our baby ice. In the last few months, I've literally not thought about my baby boy embryo because the stress of moving has completely taken over my life. But I did get a ring cam footage of all the lasers being disrupted as a chubby man who looked a lot like Raffi was trying to contort his way under and over each laser trying to get to my little boy embryo. Quite odd, don't you think?
And honestly, you just had to ask. I would have honestly just taken about 5 cents for it. I mean, really, anything to get rid of this embryo. I just don't want to have another child. That's what I'm trying to say. So they go in the doctor's office, and Caroline's like, "Oh, okay. Remember what this is, Sergio?" She shows like a model of like a vagina, and he goes,
Oh, an ear canal, honey.
"She's like, do you see what I'm? Do you see now? My joke about getting rid of the embryo isn't so tasteless, is it anymore? Right? You see what I'm working with."
And the doctor's like,
All right, well, I guess that's why we're here, right? Welcome back. Today we're here because of the age issue and the pregnancy issue.
usually you try doing this before the big 5-0. And he's like,
Oh, my God. What is the big 5-0? What is that? What is it, baby? What is it, baby? What's the big 5-0? Oh, God. Is it happening right now?
What is 50? Oh, 50.
Yes, honey. 50 means 50. Wow. What's the point of even having a baby on ice when you have one sitting right next to you and you're married to it?
Sergio goes,
Oh, my God. But that's only like 1.5 years.
and he goes, no, she's 46 now, and in a month she'll be 47. And he goes,
Ah, so then 2 weeks until she's 50? Come on,
You
baby.
know that Caroline was like, "You idiot. My official bio says I'm 46, not 48 and a half."
please, everybody, trust Wiki over this monster. So she's like, oh, God. And they don't have surrogacy in this country. And the doctor's like, no, not here. But you can always, let's say you cannot carry the pregnancy. You can always transport the embryo to another country like the US or Spain and have them grow it there. And she's like, oh, God, I don't really know how I feel about surrogacy. I mean, it's illegal in Dubai. So if I can't carry the baby and my baby's in a baby mama in America, just for 9 months, I'll forget about the baby. And then before you know, it's like ding dong, there's a baby at the door. Valentina, get the baby at the door.
She's like, if we have a surrogate mom over in America, I'm not even going to check in for 9 months.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Like getting a baby from America. I mean, it's the difference between ordering a package that's delivered by UPS from Amazon or ordering a package that's delivered from FedEx from Etsy. You'll get the Amazon the next day. Etsy, God knows when it comes. And when it does come, it's going to be in so many pieces, you don't even know how to put the goddamn thing together. Have I gotten ahead of myself? Sorry, I've ordered a lot of shit from Etsy lately, and I'm like, why do I do this every time? Every single time I do this, and it takes 10 months.
Yeah, it's so funny. I always think the same thing. This baby is going to arrive for Caroline the way, like, when you pre-order an Ina Garten cookbook in April, and the pub date is in October, and you're like, oh my God, there's a cookbook at my door. Forgot.
That's funny.
I've been down that path.
Yes.
So, but of course, so surrogacy in my mind seems like it's probably the way to go because she had a difficult pregnancy last time and it was traumatic, and she honestly really shouldn't be getting pregnant again, based on what she's saying, and it sounds like she doesn't want to get pregnant again. So it seems like surrogacy is the path, but an argument against surrogacy is,
I want a picture of Caroline naked with her tummy out. I have to have it. I have to have the photo of you naked with your tummy out.
I'm like, you know what? It's called Photoshop. Just use the smudge tool and just distort that tummy right on out. Why is she going to risk her health so you can have a photo, Sergio?
But I want it. You know those pictures where the lady is holding one boobie and then there's the baby hanging out? I want that. I need that.
So the doctor's like, well, he's like, you know, well, if we do this in a year or so, I think you could do it yourself. You know, you have a beautiful embryo. And, oh, by the way, I have a picture of your embryo. So he pulls out the picture. And Sergio's like,
Where's the boy? Where's the boy? Where's it?
I get emotional now. She goes, what? He goes, I cannot see this. I cannot see this. She goes, it's a bubble. Because it's just like a circle.
He literally looks at it and goes, where's the boy? Like, it's an embryo, you fucking nitwit. Oh my God. It's so embarrassing.
I was so glad because how many times have we seen people look at blobs on ultrasounds and be like, oh my God, it's my child. And then Caroline's just like, it's a bubble.
Oh my God, look, Sergio, they've got a picture of your brain. It's a bubble.
Look at this single-celled organism. Somehow smarter than Sergio.
What does the doctor say? He goes, wait, hold on, let me look for it. I'm lost in my notes, but he goes, where's the boy? And the doctor's like, it's the genes. What did he say? Something like that.
He said the boy doesn't show here. He goes,
it's a genetic test.
Sergio's like, even though it's just an embryo, it's just so special and emotional for me. Like, oh, I'm going to start crying now. I'm like emotional. Like, I love my baby. I want to have this baby. Even though it's on ice, just like the idea of having this little boy close to me is literally making my heart melt. She goes, you know what's making my heart melt? The idea of you actually melting in a pool of lava. That's just really heartwarming to me.
What are you thinking, baby? Baby? Don't look at me like that, honey. I'm very sensitive in this state, honey. But I'm looking at Caroline, and she's not really on the same page as me. So I'm thinking, oh my God, how do I say to Caroline, I need this baby? How do I say it?
You say it every morning. What are you talking? You've already said it. She knows you need it. You know what I mean? It's like when I'm waiting tables and people are like, I ordered my meal 30 minutes ago. And I'm like, I don't care. What does that have to do? Do you think that makes any difference to me? Like, do you think I'm going to just speed up the chef by just you saying something? It's not how it works, stupid. Wait for the oven to finish.
I think the idea is like, did you forget my meal? Because that has happened too.
Oh, it's happened many times. Yeah.
So Sergio's like,
Okay, so the latest we could do this is at the quote-unquote Big 5-0. See, honey, I used it. You said Big 5-0. I understand what it means now.
I wanted to watch a new TV show, this song called Hawaii 5-0, but it's too depressing because I know it's the end of our baby. Baby, honey?
So
He's like, please, honey, I'm so sensitive.
she's like, oh God, all right, fine. We'll do it in a week. Yeah. Decade. I'll be dead. We're not doing it.
Sergio got terrible news. I have to go away for a business trip for about 1.5 years. So I do hope I'm able to carry the baby at the end of the trip. No? Oh, dang. Looks like I missed my window for carrying the baby.
She's like, well, I don't know. I'm just not the best baby person. I'm great with puppies. And she just smiles, that crazy smile. But she's also...
Puppies are like, no, she's not good with us. She's not good with us.
I think really all she needs is... They need to change the psychology on it and be like, you know who the biggest influencers on the market are? Mommy influencers. It's the biggest money maker in influencing. Everybody knows. I mean, I would think that everybody knows it. So if you really want her to do that, you need to explain to her that that's where the real money in influencing is, and she'll start popping them out like tarts. I mean, like the toaster strudel, not the...
Caroline Stanbury mommy influencing would be the funniest thing of all time. She's like... This is a cardboard box. I just got it. You can get it for free. You put your child in there, put it in the corner, and then you go shopping.
Look at this. The newest Apple product. It's an actual apple. You shove it in the child's mouth, and they can't make a noise for hours.
Here's a hack. Do you understand when your macaw parrots are always squawking in the middle of the night? So you put this thing over the birdcage. Now try putting it over a child. It works like a charm.
That's so like we used to do with... Taylor Armstrong's kid, like leave her in a crate and put a blanket over it, you know.
I did not remember that.
And the recaps, that never really happened, everybody. Don't get all upset. I forgot what we were talking about. Yeah, don't have a baby with Caroline. I mean, who wants a baby with somebody who's like, absolutely not. Do you want a baby? I'd rather put my hand up a bonsai tree stuffed with styrofoam DNA than have your child, you fucking loser.
I cannot wait for you to carry my baby, honey.
So the doctor's basically like, it's a miracle to have this kind of embryo at age 45. And he's like, honey, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. Big 5-0. She's like, okay, all right. And the doctor's like, better not waste it. I'm like, Raffi is ready. Just call up Raffi. It will not go to waste.
Yeah, sell that baby. So then we go to a seafood market with Caroline Brooks, and it's the first day of Ramadan. And Saba is sitting there inside. And so it's like a big Ramadan party or whatever.
Yeah.
Ramadan, break the fast brunch, I'm guessing.
I think it's dinner. They're breaking their fast, and they're all they're eating. They're sitting on the floor, and they're in this like small room, which is fine. But it just it was awkward to watch just because of the cameraman. I felt like the cameraman was like up against the wall in a corner and like didn't know what to do with this camera, But
also, Saba is not making it easier to watch because Saba is she's so pretty, and I love her accent and stuff, and I love her snobbery, but she kind of sucks the air out of her room, doesn't she? I don't know what it is about her, but just her presence. She's like, hello, I simply love Ramadan.
What a fun evening I'm going to curate for everyone. We're going to go into a small room and sit on the floor and eat food. And you're going to be entertained by me, Saba, the most entertaining friend of this show has ever seen. Enjoy.
Has anyone used the I simply love French fries comments? Like, yeah, we fired her last year. Darn it. All right. I love to feed ducks vegetables. Sorry, we've used that one, Sobs. All right. I'm running low here. I set alarms. Sorry, that one's taken. Oh, God, I'll come up with something, surely. Just let me sit here for a while on camera and I'll think of something.
I like a specific type of chai tea. That was her thing last week, the chai tea talk. So everyone comes in, and Chanel, of course, is wearing a big, giant dress that is honestly a little awkward in this small room. And
that's the point. That's Chanel, and that's wearing a little thin too. Like she's just walking in, and now people just go, "Wow!"
I know. No one's impressed anymore.
Like, wow, Chanel, wow.
So they're all sitting there, and Ayan sees, Akin is there, and Ayan is like, "Wow, you're a very good-looking man." I mean, and Sara's like, "Well, he's a model. You would relate."
It's just, oh my God, yes, I recognize us. Yeah, because you're gorgeous, okay? But it was also funny when he walks in because everybody just stopped and stared and went, whoa. They all audibly gasped and wowed. And she's like, what a hot couple you are. And then Brooks is just staring at him like all wide-eyed. She's like,
Oh, he is so hot. Well, during Ramadan? I mean, is that not halal?
And Ayan says, you remind me of a giraffe in Africa. They're so tall and muscly and the most gorgeous animals they are. He's like, thanks. So then Ayan says, like, do you know who Sarah's ex-boyfriend was? The actor from 365 Days movie? Sarah dated Michelle Marone. Sarah knows how to pick sizzling hot. Do you know who this is, Michelle?
Wasn't that 365 Days movie like that really hot sex movie on Netflix that people went crazy over for like 1 week? Let's look him up because I think that's who he is.
Oh, Jesus,
he is gorgeous, Italian actor and model. Yes, this is that sex movie from Netflix.
I totally missed this movie, but whoa.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Oh my God,
and he's so stupid too. I love it. His first picture is him showing off his biceps. He's sitting on a piano bench in a crop top, and he's like, he's pushing down on the bench so that his biceps flex while he stares at the piano keys. He's like, I'm super deep. I'm looking at a piano. But look at my arms. Wow. What are you looking at first? My talent or my arms?
He definitely seems awful. Like you can tell when someone is like hot but like sweet versus hot and awful, and he's definitely giving hot and awful, right?
I mean,
right?
I don't know. I think I'm too shallow to be there right now. I'm assuming that anybody this hot is naturally awful because the world hands them so much that they can't take the power. So I'm going to assume that he's awful, but I mean, I don't know. I can't stop staring at his biceps at a piano. I mean, those are two of my favorite things, biceps and a piano.
This guy is really, really gorgeous. It's out of control. Okay, I'm going to close the tab.
No, I don't
All
want
right.
to close it.
Sorry.
Oh, he has art. He has art.
Oh, see.
But now if I try and sign in, it's going to make me double factor author. I can't. You know what, Instagram? You're killing me with this 2-factor authorization bullshit. I can't, or authentication. Stop it. Stop torturing us. Just let me into the account. I want to look at this himbo's artwork. Okay, back to the recap.
So they order some food and everything, and Sara's tells us about Ramadan and how it's basically, a lot of fasting. It's fasting during the day, and then from sunrise to sunset, it's for fasting, and then afterwards it's just food. So a little Ramadan lesson there. And Saba's like, okay, everyone, hello, girlfriend. Who fasted today? Did you fast today? Did you fast, girlfriend?
So they start eating and stuff, and Saba's like, so are your muscles okay on the floor like that, Akin? Sitting on the floor, because Saba hates him, okay? Saba's like jealous of Akin. I don't know if she's just like, Sarah deserves better than some slutty model. I don't know what she's thinking, but she does not like this guy. She's like, so, Akin, are your muscles okay on the floor? What kind of modeling do you do? Is it for stones in front of a home? Because you're basically a lump of stone sitting there, you hateful, gorgeous man. And he's like, I model sports clothes, normal clothes, streetwears. And Brooks goes, what's your mix?
Yeah, and I was like, what side of Africa are you? And he's like, well, my dad is American.
Your mom? What's your mom?
German.
Like, calm down, Brooks. Jesus.
Little moped starting up there.
Caroline Brooks is like a leaf blower trying to start. She's like, where are you from? What's your mom like? What do you do? What's your favorite game? Come sit on me. Sit on me.
Saba's like, do you feel like it's easier for you that he's Muslim? Girlfriend, look how easygoing and fun I am, because I say girlfriend at the end of things. Girlfriend.
So I was like, of course it's easier that he's Muslim. And she's like, so, Akin, you're leaving soon?
He's like, I live on Sunday, yeah. And she's like, oh, and then you're moving to Dubai soon? Ha 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 ha. You got Sabad?
He's like, I'm working on it. She goes, of course you are. I hope that you can find some innocent single woman to victimize. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? Get me my chai. Get me my chai. Emergency chai alert.
What's your surname, Akin? And they're basically, Sarah's like, oh my God, I thought his name was like fake. It's like a stage name. I could not even believe his last name. And she's like, what is it? He goes, Fontana.
Fontana. And Sarah's like, oh yeah, we don't take names here. And Sarah goes, what? Emiratis don't take names? I mean, how could we be best friends and I not know this? Are we best friends? Are you marrying Akin? What's happening right now? Who am I? Where am I? Is this normal tea?
Do you even like chai tea, Sarah? So Sara says that you don't know, like your name is your dad's pride, so you take your dad's pride with you, and stuff like that. And Brooks is like, well, I'm happy to see you. Look at you. Look, she's glowing. She's smiling. And I love this. And I love this for Maktoum. He's at an age where he needs a man in his life that he could look up to, and that's a positive role model. It's like, Brooks, you're talking to a falafel right now. Eyes up here. Eyes up here.
And Ayan's like, oh, so you've met the child? And he's like, yes, I love him. We bonded over 5 slushies. Sarah goes, oh yeah, he loves him. And Brooks is like,
Oh, this is what I want as well. I want this kind of relationship where I could be this much in love and my son can also love the person. I mean, I just love Sarah. I'm so happy for Sarah. I just want Akin. Someone like Akin, whose name is Akin. Akin Fontana. Akin Fontana. Man of slushies. Many slushies. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get that man. I'm going to get that man. Give me that man. Give me that
She's
man.
gonna talk to him. She just grab Akin and put him into a van. She's like, you know who's not an Akin Fontana? Zoltan.
How does she wind up with Akin Fontana, most beautiful man alive, the giraffe in Ayan's eyes, and I have Zoltan? I literally married a guy who sounds like he's a magician.
Let me guarantee you one thing this man hasn't done. Broken a toilet when he shit on it.
Still waiting on that reimbursement, Zoltan.
So they just make chat. And Brooks is like, yeah, well, I want this vibe because I'm a single mom, but my son knows how I have to work to take care of them. It's very difficult. And Sarah's like, I feel like a lot of moms do a lot because also they're so scared of mommy guilt. Like, why is everything she says completely full of shit? I don't believe one thing that comes out of Sarah's mouth. Do you?
Well, it's more like I just feel like it's not an issue of whether or not I believe. It's just like I feel like there's something. She does that thing that I normally love when there's like a really wealthy person pretending like she really understands the ways of the world. Sort of like Caroline Fleming. Like this is very Caroline. She's very Caroline Fleming. But like there's something about Sara where there's just like an element of there's just like a layer of bullshit that's even thicker, like too thick, that I'm like, oh, shut up. Why are you being so patronizing about mommy guilt right now?
And she is a mom, but like the way that she carries herself makes me not even believe that she's a mom. Does that make sense? Like it makes
she probably
me
has
think that
experienced mommy guilt. She probably has very specific like experience with mommy guilt, but I'm just like, ugh, Sara, once again.
Yeah, she just says everything like she's just so full of shit how she says every single thing. It's like, oh, what I really believe is in healing myself with the crystal of the moon of the blah, blah. It's like, oh my God. You know what? I think that moms sometimes feel guilty about working. Yeah, really deep, Sara. No one has ever said something like that before, It makes me not believe her. And I'm like, but I've seen her son. Like, I believe that. I don't know.
She definitely has mommy guilt, but like I don't know, it just feels like when she starts to weigh in on things, you know what it is? It's not so much that I doubt like whether or not she understands what mommy guilt is. I think she knows what mommy guilt is.
I don't mean that specifically. I don't mean that I doubt that specifically. I just mean she's full of shit in general.
No, but I'm
sorry, I said it wrong.
From what I said is more like when she says things, I feel like her intention is more to show off some sort of like deep wisdom she has about the world, and it just doesn't come from a sincere place for me.
Yeah.
Like a sincere place of empathy. It comes from a place of like showing like I want to put in further evidence that I'm a deep soulful person. It doesn't seem like she's really trying to empathize.
Well, it's just very like, all I want is the perfect man for my child because I cannot accept anything less for my beautiful child. I will only date 25-year-old models from Instagram.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
Come on now. So anyway, but also it's where the scene goes. You know what I mean? That annoys me. Okay, so then she's like, it's just like moms feel guilt, am I right? And you shouldn't feel guilty as a mom. Speaking of Lisa, I think Lisa must feel it because something's going on with her, right? I mean, something's bothering Lisa. I mean, does she have something on her mind or something at home? I'm like, see, now you're acting like you're using this good person persona to shit talk somebody else. It's just gross. Just shit talk like anybody else. Just be bold enough to shit talk a person and be shitty doing it. Don't hide behind this good person persona.
Exactly, and that's where the sincerity issue comes in, which is like she's talking about mom guilt like almost like a bonding way, but then she's really just using it as a segue to talk shit about Lisa.
Right.
So Saba's like, she just snaps, and Ayan is like, what are you guys talking about? And she's like, what do you do at your queen's dinner? And so we have flashback of Lisa quote unquote snapping, which I really don't think that was that much of a snap, by the way, of Lisa being like, Talene, you're being bitchy right now. And so Ayan's like, well, her mom just left and she has 3 kids and she works and she's really busy and her alarms didn't go off midday. And so she missed her, afternoon apple juice.
She has 77 alarms. It's a very rough life that she's living. And Sarah goes, so she's overwhelmed. And she goes, yes, she's very hands-on mom. And Sarah goes, no, but you know what? She really needs to take it easy because as a mom, you can burn yourself out. Is she burnt out? I just want to say how much I support women, except the one I'm shit-talking right now. For everybody else. She's going crazy, right? Is she burnt out? Give me something here.
Ayan's like, I would never just sit around and let anyone ask me questions about my best friends. It's like really uncomfortable. I'm like, you kind of are doing that right now, just so you know. But she's like, if you have a problem, go ask her. Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah, I like this because she's like, I love her and she's my best friend. And if you guys want to talk to her, go talk to her. Like, leave me the fuck out of it. So I like that. That's rare to see on these shows. And so then we see Caroline Brooks walking into a restaurant in a silver jumpsuit.
She is wearing the Angie Katzenevas C-3PO top from the last season of Salt Lake City. She has taken it as her own now. And Talene comes in and...
Our note taker, Lauren, thank you, Lauren, for these brilliant notes. Our note taker says, Caroline Brooks walks into a restaurant in August in a silver jumpsuit.
Yes. Well, the restaurant may have also just been called August. It's hard to tell.
Oh, I thought she said in August because, like, why is she dressed like a in tinfoil in the middle of August in the desert?
I have no idea because it could be in August. It could be a restaurant called August, or honestly, it could just be both.
I'm just putting this dry ass personality on Lauren.
Okay. So Talene is like, she's like, talk to me. How was iftar? And Caroline's like, oh, I was like laser focused on the freaking God across from me, God, Akin. Wow. I mean, do you know when you've lived your whole life as the Zoltan and then an Akin comes into your life? Oh my God, Christ, does Sara know how to pick them? Am I right? Oh God. All right. Anyway, sorry. Whew, I'm getting hot in here. Is it me or is it just my silver jumpsuit? Wow. How are things with you?
You know what? Speaking of men, Roth is on my ass about having a boy. You know me. I'm just trying so hard to get my career back together. I just tied a parachute to like 5 old ladies last week. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. So I don't know how he expects me to do both things.
Yeah, by the way, sorry for being late. I just tied a parachute to our SUV. It sort of slowed us down a little bit, it turns out. Guess cars don't really need to have exercise in that same way.
So then Talene's like, honey, you're losing weight. I mean, the thinner I see you, the more I'm worried about you. This is not healthy. And she's like,
well, I've been working like 7 days a week, 18 hours a week, 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, 97 hours a year. I'm just so much work. Crack toilets. It's a lot.
Yeah, well, your arms are like coat hangers right now. She's like, well, of course, I've got 2 kids. I got a glass house. I have a child. And it's really difficult to balance, especially when you've been exposed to Akin and then Zoltan walks through the door and you just think about, oh God, what my life could have been if I just made some better choices.
So Talene's like, she's just so stressed out right now with this business. I mean, she looks like a really thin astronaut. So she's like, are you good? She's like, yeah, I'm good, babe. I'm just more concerned, like, Sandberg invited us all to the desert, which is like, oh, so now you want to invite us to something. Thanks. Okay, the old me would have been very confrontational towards it, but the new me is like, really just thinking about Akin nonstop. Am I right? No, I just expect less from people, so I don't get myself disappointed. And let me just take a hard sip of this cocktail. The new me doesn't get mad. The new me just buries her emotions into a cocktail. All right.
The new me just tries to ruin people through other people very awkwardly.
And so then Talene goes, listen, can I say something? You're not going to like this, okay? But it's coming from an honest place. I think that sometimes you can kind of instigate behind the scenes. And she's like,
really? Instigate what? What are you talking about? Instigate what? What?
Well, you are maybe fearful that I'm not going to have your back. And I'm not going to be like blindly loyal to you.
I don't want blind loyalty. I mean, what's that? I don't even want that. I don't want that.
Let me finish. Okay. After the whole Queens thing, you called me the next morning and you brought up the whole Stanberry thing and you said, oh, I don't know why she took me away from the table. We're not even friends like that. Okay. That's what you said.
That is what Lisa said to me, so I repeated that to you. It would be horrible for me to listen to something like that and not come to you. Am I right?
It wasn't that way, Caroline. It wasn't. I didn't feel like it was in that way where you were trying to be there as a friend. I don't feel that way.
Sal, don't do that, Sal. Don't do
First of all, don't tell me what to do. You know very well that you are the queen of the telephone game. Roll the footage.
The telephone game. It's like the worst thing anybody's ever said. And then it goes downhill from here. And Caroline's like,
Tal's gonna believe her friend of 10 minutes over a friend of years. Literally, I protected this girl like she's my child. And now what are you gonna do? Take a knife and stab me in the back. Stab me in the back.
I was like, oh God, this lasted even less time than we thought it would last. This
Yeah.
relationship.
I know. Does protect her like a child? Does Caroline Brooks also call her kid at like 2 a.m. drunkenly, be like, "Let me tell you something about what your friend said to you"?
Probably.
Yeah, actually, probably yes.
Probably.
So Caroline's like, "You said I feel like you're steering the pot amongst friends that I knew before," and she's like, "Jesus, you can't even take one bit of a critique. It bothered me that you called me and said Stanbury was talking shit about you."
So she's like, are we good? And she's like,
Not really.
she's like, okay, well, are we good?
Okay, fine, I'm good.
And then Caroline Brooks walks off all huffy, and they just are mad now at each other. So then we go to Stanbury and Sergio's house, and Sergio's like,
Honey, madam of the house here. When is the TV going in, honey? When is it going in?
today.
Today, and we have a piece of marble, honey. Where's a piece of marble? He's like, oh no, honey, you're not gonna like it.
Is that chipped marble? Valentina, come here and stand with your finger over this chip.
For the rest of your life, I never want to look at this chip.
I don't ever want to see this chip, Valentina.
You
Bad
stand
news,
here.
Mom. It's an actual chip. I know it's a chip, Valentina, all right? Stand there covering it.
You know, it wasn't there yesterday, and then today there's a chip. It's almost as if someone put that chip there, so I'd have to stare at it and fixate at it while Sergio's family comes in. And you know, now I won't even be able to see them because there's a chip there. And I definitely did not put that chip there in order to have an excuse not to talk to Sergio's family.
So she starts calling the chip people, and the doorbell rings because the parents are here. It's like,
Honey, they arrived.
she's like, well, guess what? I don't have enough time for your fucked up family because I've got a fucked up piece of marble here, and it's much more important to me to fix that, right? Just tell your mother to stop hugging things. Tell her she can come in here, just don't hug things, including me. All right, oh God, there she goes. She's out there hugging a lamppost. Stop her, Valentina. Go out there and stop the mother from hugging things.
Mom, bad news. I've got my finger on the chip.
God damn it. All right, well, just extend your foot and trip her before she can get to me once she gets in here, please.
Anyway, it's lovely to see you all, you lovely non-nannied, non-boarding schooled people. I would hug you, but unfortunately, it's against my ethics and morals. It's so glad you made the trip in here all the way to Dubai. I shall see you in 7 days to see you off. And until then, I'm going off to the desert, and if I happen to die there, so be it.
And Sergio's like,
Oh no, honey, you're going to die when you see the amount of suitcases they brought.
and she's like, oh God. Well, whatever. You've brought so much baggage into my life already, haven't they, Sergio?
They're not planning to move in, are they?
Well, only until the baby shows up.
All right. Well, they can go on the children's floor with Yasmin, and I'll see them in about 18 years. That's the policy.
She's like, well, I used to hate the parents. And then we see a flashback of her telling everyone, Sergio actually expects me to sit with his parents at our rehearsal dinner. Disgusting. I actually have friends that I grew up with that are sitting with us at our very important day. Since when do parents come to important day things and expect to sit next to the married couple?
Well, but I get on with them quite well now once I realize that they also can't stand Sergio. So that really bonded us. You know, they make Sergio happy. They make me happy. We all point our fingers and throw tinfoil balls at his head. And it's a great time. I love them now.
Once we were playing a Bravo game of answers, and I found out that their biggest regret was also Sergio. And really, you just need one regret in common to build a bridge.
It turns out all that luggage they brought was actually not their belongings, just the last of his belongings they wanted to get out of the house.
So let's see. So Caroline's like, oh God, I can't wait to go with the girls this weekend. I'm not ignoring the in-laws on purpose. I just want one relationship that doesn't have to do with the baby.
So then we go over to Brooks and Saba and Talene. They're all on the side of the road because they've all kind of been dropped off there. This is Caroline's big day of desert activity. And so Brooks is like, well, the desert is super hot. It's very sandy. And then I have Talene, and all I want to do is just blow her away.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Call me a season 1. You know, she's working hard. She'll get there. So then Ayan walks up with this big blue wig and a big blue dress, and Talene goes, "What in the blueberry loofah hell is that?" Jesus, she looks like dessert, not desert. I think she thought dessert chic.
And Ayan's like, well, I wish I had knew so I could plan my fashion. And the producer's like, she sent you a message. She was like, oh, she sent that? I didn't pay attention.
So now the girls gather. Stanbury sent them a video, and she's like, "Hello, girls. It's me doing this video from air conditioning. Now, I'm sorry, we had a party bus waiting for you, but it broke down. Sergio kept following it around, sticking his penis in it and begging for a baby." We're very sorry.
I'm really sorry. To the minivan. As for you guys, here it is. A shitty little car that you'll all have to cram into. Good luck.
And they're like, that? Like this tiny little van. They're like, God damn it. So Lisa's like, Stanbury clearly maxed out her credit card on her new house. Like, why is she putting us in a toot-toot?
So they all get there. They all go get the thing. And meanwhile, Stanbury is with her friend Juliana. And she says, well, they're going to be so mad. I'll be shocked if they all show up. It's hilarious. I decided to bring my friend Juliana to lunch. We've just always had so much fun together. She makes me laugh. I think my housewarming present from her was a Hermes plate and a vibrator. So she's great. She's just hilarious.
Absolutely hilarious. You know, for my my bridesmaids party, my hen's party rather, she showed up. Everyone else wanted to go to a stripper. She was the only one that said, "Pin the puppy on the Sergio face." You know, I mean, she's really just my type of a girl.
You know, it was so lovely that she gave us those Hermes plates. It's just a shame that we spent all evening throwing them at Sergio's head. What a waste of a good plate. But at the same time, was it a waste?
On the other hand, Oprah, am I right?
So, so they're just waiting for everyone to arrive. And
it's like fun activity day, right? So they're like making wacky comments, but then they drive to do the fun stuff, and they get Lamborghinis that they get to drive in, and they tell us how important cars are in Dubai. Car culture, super important. Big deal, guys. And Caroline's like, oh, God, Juliana's husband collects sports cars. Cars are more important in Dubai. People have small houses that are about, $10, but they've got $2 to $3 million worth of cars on the driveway.
Right. And really the highlight of this is watching Chanel cram her giant ball gown into this tiny Lamborghini front seat. And it was just like, you just see the windshield and it's just like full of gown. And Lisa's like, Chanel, I can't drive like this. She's like, hold on. And then eventually she crams it all behind her. And you just see her in this, in the Lamborghini with all this fluff behind her.
Yeah. So they're riding in their separate Lamborghinis or whatever, and they're almost pulled over, but it was an ambulance. No, guys, it's okay. And Lisa's already gossiping. She's like, I'm surprised that Talene and Brooks aren't riding together. And then back in the car with Talene and Stanbury's like, well, what's up with that? How was your dinner with Brooks? And she's like,
Oh my God, well, it was good, but me and Brooks just, look, I said, you can be an instigator. And then it was World War III, Caroline. I mean, it's like I told her that there wasn't going to be a penis coming out of my womb for a while. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. You know, when her eyes get wide, like the rage takes over. I mean, she had the crazy eyes. And she goes, oh my God, they might pop out like one of those string bowl machines.
I'm really beginning to like Talene. Unlike the other people, she is not going to blindly follow Brooks down any road she wishes. That takes real balls, something I definitely don't have in my household right now, if you know what I'm saying.
So then they are going to have a little lunch set up in the desert, and they're like going to sand surf or whatever, right?
Down a very small slope. And so they do that, and it doesn't really work out. Chanel's dress is just dragging in the sand. So they all kind of give up on that, and they sort of arrive in this oasis where it's 100 degrees out and they're having food. And I think Zaba has to break her fast because she's like, I'm not going to fast in this 100-degree weather right now. I need to drink some water.
So then they go to the eating portion of after the fun and game stuff, and they start grilling Sara about her boyfriend. And she's like, he's not my boyfriend yet. I'm old school. I would get to know him, introduce him to the family, and then get married. I'm not dating for fun. And Stanbury's like, well, do you kiss him? She goes, no, of course not. And they're like, oh, bullshit, you're a liar. You make out with him. Come on. And they're all giving her shit. And who says it, Lisa? Because they will not stop. And Lisa's like, yeah, it's a bit disrespectful to ask a Muslim woman if she's made out with someone because that's haram for her, which means forbidden. I like that my name is one letter away from forbidden because I'm Karam.
Yeah, you're like, that's why you always walk that line between saying the forbidden things versus just talking about childhood.
So they're like, you haven't kissed? And Stanbury's like, I would run for the hills. I mean, actually, I have kissed and run for the... I mean, either way, you're not with Sergio. Just keep him.
So, and then Sara's saying how, like, no, well, she's like, it's different in the Arab world. Intimacy is a sacred thing, and Akin is Muslim, so he really understands that. And, she's like, I can get the guy with a smile and my clothes on, girl. Which, I believe that too, but I also believe that they've kissed. Let's be honest. Not to be culturally insensitive, but I believe they kissed.
So Saba's like, Sara, how long are you going to make him wait until you introduce him to your parents? And she's like, well, maybe 2-3 months, but my mom thinks my choices are wrong, and she's right. But I told her, Mom, I've done therapy. I screamed into a pillow. I'm fixed now.
I told my mom, look, I have chosen really bad men in the past, but don't worry. There's nothing about a young personal trainer that is a red flag. So I feel pretty good about this one.
Listen, I know I haven't chosen right in the past, but this one is always shirtless on Instagram. How bad could it be?
So Stanbury's like, well, I have to agree with you. It's like suddenly a minute, like, well, they're all like, I can't believe, by the way, Brooks, that you are suddenly healed. Because Brooks has said, I believe therapy changes people, and I love my healing journey. And they're like, that was really quick, Brooks. What? That was too fast. Too fast.
Yeah, none of them are buying it. Ayan goes, no, yours was too fast. And they're like, but be happy she's happy. And Stanbury's like, oh, yeah, right. In 1 minute, you're a changed woman. So they're all mocking her, basically. And Brooks is like, but please now. And Sara says, well, therapy takes time, but spiritual healing is on the spot, like direct. It's crazy. Sign up for my workshops that I do with my business partner for all this magical healing for only $9,000 a week or whatever the hell it is. Oh my God.
I'm glad to hear she found a hack for therapy.
Yeah.
An instant hack.
Pay enough money. Pay me enough money.
I don't think Brooks is at peace. She just may be more drunk. So
I don't think she found therapy. I think she found a doctor willing to prescribe benzos.
So Talene's like, well, she's not so calm, everyone. And Sarah's like, no, she's calm. And Stanbury's like, well, I'm pretty sure you had a moment last night. So Talene, do you want to take it from here? And they're like, what happened? What happened? So Talene's like, no, I got into a bit of an altercation with Caroline. That's all. And she's, well, I wouldn't call it an altercation. I would call that you made a comment and I made a comment back, and that's it.
Oh, really? That's what you would call it? Okay, well, I just told her as a friend, and I feel that, you can instigate. That's what I said.
And Brooks is like,
and then I said to you as a friend, I'm not going to tell you anything anymore, and I left it at that.
And that was the end of that. That's funny. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that is funny. That is funny. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. You know what? You called me the day before. I'm having a bad morning. I'm sorry.
See, you're not letting me talk.
But I don't care about this. I don't care about it. So that's why I'm not letting you talk about it.
Well, if you don't care about this, then we are not as close friends as I thought.
And that's fine. That's fine.
So that's how it ends. As to be continued. Dun dun dun. What will happen in this magical relationship between Talene and Brooks?
I don't know, but I do know that I just destroyed my throat doing Talene's voice a little bit too aggressively right there. So now I'm like, anyway, you all, everyone, thank you so much for being here. For those who are celebrating July 4th, meaning like, in the United States, not okay. That sounded like I was being like, guys, and you sell. Anyway, for those who are here in the United States having a long weekend, enjoy your long weekend. And for everyone else, we'll catch you on Monday. Bye, everyone. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Erin McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. Ring that bell for Rachel. She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.